Hey, there's 1,000 of me. What's up? What's good, bro? All right, all right. We'll get into some shit. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. So this is Biden's commencement speech at Howard. But I'm from Atlanta. Good times, good times. All right, let's see what he's talking about. Sure, it ain't shit. But I'll go into it unbiasedly.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that introduction. Dr. Morris, thank you for the incredible honorary degree. And thank you, President Frederick, for the invitation and for your leadership of your alma mater. Serena, student body president, College of Pharmacy, class speaker. And just remember, when you're President of the United States, and they say Joe Biden's out in the waiting room to say hello, promise me you will not say Joe who. Right? You all think I'm kidding. To the distinguished faculty and staff, thank you for having me, and to the parents and families in the class of 2023, congratulations. And by the way, we will get to giving you your degrees. I promise that's coming.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Jeremy Anderson here. Check this out. I got a question for you. Do you want to build wealth? Right? Are you looking for more ways to supplement your income? Do you have a message in the story? Have you?
Minute 16, first commercial.
You are here with the heart and through the heartache, through blood, sweat, and tears of everything that's come before, for everything yet to come. We're here at the new moment of hope and possibilities. For graduates, before we begin, as mentioned many times, tomorrow's Mother's Day. Stand for your mothers and grandmothers. Stand and thank them. Where I come from, moms rule. My friend, and he is my friend, Congressman Jim Clyburn. The thing that I admire most about you, Jim, is your absolute integrity in everything you do. In everything you do. This is a man of honor. I attended South Carolina State University's commencement as Jim received his degree he earned 60 years ago, but never got a chance to receive it in person. Jim, it's an honor to join you here today and receive an honorary degree from this great university. And it's truly special to join fellow honorees, Prime Minister.
Reading off this prompt. Not even saying it sincerely, just reading off of the prompt. Whatever you want to call it, I don't know what it's called. But I just find it ridiculous. Supposed to be an old-time friend. You can't even give a sincere, thank you or appreciation, whatever. It's ridiculous.
Mr. Rowley, Mr. Prime Minister, I didn't know you were so talented. I just thought you were a foreign policy, Latin American guy. We got to talk. All kidding aside, thank you for being a strong partner in the Caribbean and for addressing climate change and supporting democracies across the Western Hemisphere. I'm also honored that There's a person here today, Dr. Tony Allen. He's president of my home state, BCU, Delaware State University, where I got politically started. I was fortunate to have Tony as a Senate staffer for a long time. Then he got his PhD, had a distinguished career in business, and became president of HBCU. Now Tony chairs my White House Board of Advisors on HBCUs, which is designed to support and advance HBCU excellence with a lot more money.
That's so crazy because this man literally pulled the funding to HBCUs. And then in there talking about money. This is insane. I mean, double speak at its best with Biden.
I'm also proud to say that...
And can't speak. Why is it when he feels like he's saying something, he always like whispers it? It's fucking retarded, like it's a secret. Not saying anything, bro. Let's go back.
With a lot more money. I'm also proud to say that we're the first White House to formally convene where the real power is. The Divine Nine. Oh, y'all think I'm kidding. Not a joke. The Divine Nine not only has a seat at the table, we definitely hear you at the table. And they're our first time ever at the White House, permanently. So, folks, in 2023, I'm truly honored to be here at Howard. Chartered 156 years ago by an act of Congress just after emancipation in the Civil War. Founded on a hilltop in Washington, D.C., the Mecca. Always promoting excellence, leadership, and truth and service. It really has. A proving ground for future leaders of science, medicine, education, business, faith, arts, entertainment, public service. Trailblazing intellectuals, lawyers, doctors. The first black, I might say, Vice President of the United States of America. I'll say that again. Kamala sends her love, and she sent a clear message that today I have the privilege, she points out, of speaking at the real HU.
How would you like to obtain over $250,000 in business credit cards without having to walk into a bank?
Now you realize that's going to cost me at home. There's enormous pride in this university. Founded in the verses of Howard Anthem, and I quote, reared against the eastern sky, proudly there.
For those of you that don't know, Howard is a very, very well-respected, academically, all-black college in Atlanta. Very excellent college. That's why I'm surprised they actually have this man speaking.
There on Hilltop High, there she stands for truth and right, sending forth her rays of light. It matters. It matters. It matters. We're living through one of the most consequential moments in our history, with fundamental questions at stake for our nation. Who are we? What do we stand for? What do we believe? Who will we be? You're going to help answer those questions. Let me take you back to January 2009.
I thought he was about to say 6.
I stood.
They just screaming January 6th so much, I thought this man really was about to say, let me take you back to January 6th. My goodness gracious.
Stood in Wilmington, Delaware, on the train station of Amtrak, carrying my folder, waiting to be picked up by a guy named Barack Obama. The first black man elected president.
Anytime he's anywhere with black people, that's majority black people, this man brings up Barack Obama. I mean, just selling off his coattails. It really doesn't matter. If he sees more black faces than white, he's bringing up Barack Obama. That's like his go-to. It's ridiculous. Can really call it. I said it before I even opened up the video. I was like, I bet you he talks about Obama at some point. Can't help it.
The United States. I was there to join him as vice president on the way to the historic inauguration in Washington. A moment of extraordinary hope, but also as I stood there, and this is the God's truth, I couldn't help think about another day I stood there. It wasn't much more than your age. I just got out of law school. I'd gone to work for a big firm.
I hope y'all are seeing this. You know, like this man has no idea what he's supposed to be saying. He's just trying to read it and make sense of it while he's reading it. That's what that look on his face is. This isn't a man that is speaking off conviction, what he believes. Like, he's not standing on shit. He's just repeating what's coming up on that little. You can see it right there on the little prompter. Eyes. Prompter. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Not even sure where he's supposed to be going with it. He's just so unsure. And look at that. He's like, what am I about to say? Some pro-black shit? Like, my goodness. Like, what more do they want?
But my state, because of when Dr. King was assassinated, my city parts were burned to the ground. We had a very conservative governor. He stationed a National Guard in every corner with drawn bayonets for 10 months. I quit and became a public defender. I used to have to introduce my clients. No, I was not so noble. I had to interview my clients down at the Wilmington train station when they were arrested. On the east side, that's where they'd be taken. In the aftermath of the riots that burned Wilmington following his assassination. In 2009, while waiting for Barack, I was both living history at the same time I was reliving it. A vivid demonstration when it comes to race in America. Hope doesn't travel alone. It's shadowed by fear, by violence, and by hate. But after the election and the re-election of the first black American president, I had hope that the fear, violence, and hate was significantly losing ground. After no longer being vice president, I became a professor at the University of Pennsylvania for 4 years. But in 2017, in Charlottesville, Virginia, crazed neo-Nazis with angry faces came out of the fields literally with torches, carrying Nazi banners. The woods and the fields.
Crazed neo-Nazis, like the one he's sending 170 billion to in Ukraine. Right, Azov.
Chanting the same anti-Semitic bile heard across Europe in the 30s. Something I never thought I would ever see in America. Accompanied by Klansmen and white supremacists, emerging from dark rooms and remote fields and the anonymity of the internet, confronting decent Americans of all backgrounds, standing in their way into the bright light of day. And a young woman, objecting to their presence, was killed.
So the funny thing is, when you think about help, everything that people believe has to do with their help seems...
What did you hear? That famous quote when asked about what happened. That famous quote, "There are very fine people on both sides." That's when I knew, and I'm not joking, that's when I knew I had to stay engaged and get back into public life. No,
Is he talking about Trump? Sounds like there are very fine people on both sides. I think that is something Trump said during the 2020 elections. Debates on the campaign trail. Which, from an unbiased standpoint, I understand how you can say that and genuinely believe it. Okay, I get it. Like, I'm really on the fence about that. I mean, because if KKK and neo Nazis are coming out the freaking woodwork and you're calling them fine people out, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look more into that one. But the fact that they started clapping and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not joking." They're giving a round of approval, applause, however you want to say it. Very strange.
I don't say it for that reason. I say it for the journey. I don't have to tell you that fearless progress toward justice often meets ferocious pushback from the oldest and most sinister of forces. That's because hate never goes away. I thought when I graduated we could defeat hate, but it never goes away. It only hides under the rocks. And when it's given oxygen, it comes out from under that rock.
Does anybody believe, like truly believe anything he's saying right now? I don't.
That's why we know this truth as well. Silence is complicity.
I'm sorry for pausing so much, but it just hit me too. This is the same man that didn't want to integrate schools because he didn't want them turned into racial jungles. It's probably why he's promoting speaking at a all-black college. He wants it to go back that way. On stage talking to you about neo-Nazis and shit. That's why he looks so unsure. This is what you call doublespeak, my friends.
It cannot remain silent. We have to live through this battle for the soul of the nation. And it is still a battle for the soul of the nation. What is the soul of a nation? Well, I believe the soul is the breath, the life, the essence of who we are. The soul makes us us. The soul of America is what makes us unique among all nations. We're the only country founded on an idea, not geography, not religion, not ethnicity, but an idea. The sacred proposition rooted in Scripture and enshrined in the Declaration of Independence that we're all created equal in the image of God and deserve to be treated equally throughout our lives. While we've never fully lived up to that promise, we never before fully walked away from it. We know that American history has not always been a fairy tale. From the start, it's been a constant push and pull for more than 240 years between the best of us, the American ideal that we're all created equal, and the worst of us, a harsh reality that racism has long torn us apart. It's a battle that's never really over.
This girl over in the corner is killing me. Her facial expressions are like, hurry the fuck up, man. He ain't talking about shit. She knows it. I can see it. She knows it.
But on the best days, enough of us have the guts and the hearts to stand up for the best in us, to choose love over hate, unity over disunion, progress over retreat, to stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
It's not Russia or China, the countries with nuclear weapons and fucking tanks and air forces and navies and shit. Not them. It's the white supremacists that really is non-existent. They're out there. Make no mistake. I'm from the South. I know they're out there. But most of them don't even have the heart to tell you, dog. They don't even have the heart to tell you that they even racist, right? Unless you look like them. Other than that, they're keeping quiet and minding their business and whatever. Believe what you want to believe. It's America. Do what the fuck you want to do.
And I'm not saying this because...
Is it the greatest threat to the black community? I don't think so. Data and statistics have already proven what that is. The number one threat is fathers out of the household, in my opinion.
And I'm not saying this because I'm at a black HBCU. I say it wherever I go. To stand up for truth over lies, lies told for power and profit. To confront the ongoing assault.
This is truly, he is just the greatest example of doublespeak. Like a person that is doing what they're saying they're trying to stop doing. I'm trying to stop racism while promoting it at the same exact time. It is truly crazy. The KKK, the KK trans, shit.
Subvert our elections, suppress our right to vote. That assault came just as you cast your first ballots in 20 and 22. Record turnouts. You delivered historic progress. I made it clear that America...
This man got more votes than Barack Obama. You saw his inauguration though, right? Know where them 81 million are.
Americans of all backgrounds have an obligation to call out political violence that has been unleashed and emboldened. As was mentioned already, bomb threats to this very university and HBCUs across the country.
The new best way to make money online that nobody's talking about is something you've never heard before. It's using remote automation. So these right here are real paychecks that I've received every month for the past...
I haven't heard shit about no bomb threat. HBCU. Maybe I'll just look into it, but this man he gaslights is what he does. He says a lot of shit that isn't true and tries to present it as fact, like his multiple degrees and positions he's held throughout his life and things he have said in the past and, you know, renege on later, but whatever.
To put democracy on the ballot, to reject political extremism and reject political violence, protect fundamental rights and freedom for women to choose, for transgender children to be free, for affordable health care and housing, for the right to raise your family and retire with dignity.
What family? Like, his party is all against family. Like, everything they stand for and push is against family. It's against retirement. It's against, you know, less government involvement in your life. It's against it. Like, they don't promote family. They promote the opposite. They promote trans. Hell, this is the same man that, there's a video on it, look it up yourself, went to an elementary school and told these kids they don't belong to their parents, they belong to the government, and you're promoting family. Who is buying this shit? Man is a damn fool. Look at these people's faces too, man. Like, just periodically listen to what he's saying, but just peep the reactions. I don't think anybody's listening to this crap.
To stand with leaders of your generation who give voice to the people, demanding action on gun violence. Only.
Look at them. They're like, damn. Went to an all-black college, graduated with honors and shit, and got to listen to a white man give a speech. What? Like, y'all, what? This shit is crazy. Oh, shit. Hell yeah, my all-black graduation. Who's speaking? White dude. What? Dude, this shit is crazy. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up.
to be expelled from state legislative bodies, to stand against books being banned and black history being erased. I'm serious, think about it. To stand up for the best in us. And today I come here to Howard to continue the work to redeem the soul of this nation, because it's here where I see the future, and that's not hyperbole. We can finally resolve those ongoing questions about who we are as a nation.
Oh, beautiful people.
That puts strength of our diversity at the center of American life. The future that celebrates and learns from history. A future for all Americans. A future.
Look how packed out that is. I mean, it's a lot of people. That's the the graduating class and, all their family relatives. And think about the applause he's getting. Pay attention to the applause. I mean, they know what it is, man. My people ain't stupid now. They know what it is. They've been waking up to this the last few years.
I see you leading, and I'm not, again, exaggerating. You are going to be leading it. Again, let's be clear. There are those who don't see you and don't want this future. There are those who demonize and pit people against one another. And there are those who do anything and everything, no matter how desperate or immoral, to hold on to power. And that's never.
I know you're thinking what I'm thinking, man. Like, the words that are coming out of his mouth is literally his position. He's just acting like it's other people's position. I don't know what the fuck that is. Projecting, doublespeak. I don't know what you want to call it, but you can't make this up.
It's going to be an easy battle, but I know this. The oldest, most sinister forces may believe they'll determine America's future, but they are wrong. We will determine America's future. You will determine America's future. And that's not hyperbole. No graduating class gets to choose the world into which they graduate.
We. This old society's determining America's. Bro, you're a part of all of them. They all donate to your campaign. Fuck are you talking about? And then had the audacity to be like, we. I mean, for shit. You. Like, bro. We know what you meant the first time. Stop the cat.
Every class enters the history of a nation up to the point has been written by others. But few classes, once in every several generations, enters at a point in our history where it actually has a chance to change the trajectory of the country. You face that inflection point today. And I know you'll meet the moment. I just think about the many ways you already have. With your voices and votes, I was able to fulfill my commitment to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And by the way, she's bright.
You were against the first one, too. Remember Clarence Thomas? Crazy. But hey, everybody, give me a pat on the back for this. I spent a career degrading these people, but hey, I did something right.
Harder than the rest. She is one bright woman. Because of you, more black women have been appointed to the federal appellate courts than under every other president in American history combined. And by the way, I mean it. I mean it because of you. Because of you.
I mean it.
You turned
I mean it. I mean it. He's trying to convince him damn self. He ain't trying to convince y'all.
out. You spoke up. You knew. You showed up and the votes counted. And you made people say, whoa, wait a minute. What price will I pay if I don't do the following?
Банковскую систему США трясет, как в лихорадке. На этой неделе закрыт и продан
You don't know what you're saying,
обанкротившийся...
bro. You don't speak that language. So,
You feel the promise and peril of climate change. Because of you, we're making the biggest investment ever in the history of the world in climate change. Don't ever think your voice doesn't.
does that go towards that 1.7 trillion of the deficit you cut off? That added 7 trillion, actually,
matter.
the next decade.
I'm keeping my promise that no one should be in jail merely because of using and possessing marijuana.
You fucking made the 96 crime bill. Bro, what in the fuck? Who listens to this shit? Who listens to this? What? Bro, you are the reason. Holy shit. You are the reason, my friend. And then you're like, this nigga's the problem. And then is presenting himself as the solution to the problem he created. It's nuts. This shit is nuts. You can hear my neighbors out there. But I mean, you can't make it up. This is different. The audacity.
Ever in the history of the world in climate change. Don't ever think your voice doesn't matter. I'm keeping my promise that no one should be in jail merely because of using and possessing marijuana. Their record should be expunged. Just expunged.
I'd be insulted. And this is just my personal opinion. I would be insulted to be at my college graduation and having the highest office, the leader of the world, the free world, talking about you shouldn't be arrested for weed, guys. And that got a louder applause than anything else. Like we are lost as a country. I mean, smoke weed if you want. Do whatever you want to do. I smoke cigars and shit, so I can't really say anything. But the fact that that's brought up, what the fuck, man? Probably because the statistic shows you that probably a good 60% of people in that room have been arrested and incarcerated for marijuana. Majority black people. That's probably why he's saying this shit. Just trying to garner votes. Vote for me, guys. We got you. I better leave this fucking man alone, man.
My student debt relief plan would help tens of millions of people.
Two things. Weed and then free tuition for the college and the loan you took out. We're going to make other people pay for it. Handouts and weed. Handouts and drugs. You shouldn't get in trouble for it. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. I would be insulted. I'm sorry. I would just be insulted. Like, really? This is what I paid $80,000 for? It's probably, Howard's probably more than that. You're talking 150 for 4 years. We'll give you your free tuition, though.
Especially those on Pell Grants. 70% of black college students receive Pell Grants. Many of you, the savings would be significant
He knows
in
the
even wiping
statistic.
out student debt completely for some.
You hear him, 70% of black students receive Pell Grants. He knows the numbers, he knows the stats. That's why he's in there talking about weed and fucking handouts. It's insulting, I'm telling you.
But this new Republican Party is dead set against it, suing my administration to stop you from getting student debt relief. The same opposition.
You shouldn't. I'm sorry, you shouldn't. You took out the loan. I'm not asking you guys to pay my mortgage. That would be absurd. I'm not going to go to anybody in that arena who just graduated with a degree that I don't have. I didn't go to college. I did an apprenticeship. I didn't go to college, so I don't even have a degree, but I'm not even going to expect them, the more educated ones, to pay for my debt. It's foolishness. It just shows you, like, there's only a handful of colleges, in my opinion, that are really worth something.
Who receive relief loans, I might add, to keep their businesses afloat during the pandemic. Members of the Congress worth thousands, even millions of dollars, most of which didn't have to be paid back. Yet, they say it's okay for them, but not for you. I find it outrageous. To reduce your student debt service payments when you graduate, we're also ensuring that no one with an undergraduate loan today or in the future will have to pay more than 5% of discretionary income.
You understand this just translate to higher taxes for everybody. So even these people that are clapping and cheering the second they get a job, that's more their paycheck that's going to be eaten up to not only pay for their debt, but all of their friends' debt as well, instead of just paying for their debt. Eventually, it's going to cost more than you want it to. I mean, I think about it this way. 33 cents of every dollar I make goes to the government, and they want more. It's not enough. These people are clapping.
To repay their loans, down from 10, and in 20 years is gone. Republican officials are fighting that as well. But I'll always keep fighting for you, and many others will, and many in the Republican Party as well will fight for you. We also know that
in the Republican Party, he be telling you, man. many of them in the Republican Party, he's telling you exactly what it is, bro. That's that double speak. Truth comes out even when you don't want it to. I'm gonna go back and hear that, make sure I heard that right.
many others will, and many in the Republican Party as well will fight for you.
Okay.
We also know there's more to do. Because of your power, we took the most significant law on gun violence. We passed it, most significant law in 30 years. But we will not give up. I got the assault weapons ban passed 30 years ago, and we're going to pass it again. We must pass it. There's more to do on police reform and public safety. During the State of the Union, I asked.
Bro, you in Georgia talking this nonsense. Be happy you got any applause, because we are about our fucking guns. You ain't taking shit. Come get it.
The rest of the country to imagine having to talk to their children, their families, like your families had to talk to you. It's about your security. It's about your dignity. It's demeaning and degrading and deadly when you have to stand there and say, when you're stopped, turn the interior light on. Put both hands on the wheel. Don't reach for your license.
Yeah, bro.
What in the heck?
You kind of help create that culture with the laws you have passed in your 50-year career. You literally have helped, and some would argue you're one of the main reasons that culture even fucking exists. You, Biden. This is nuts.
What the hell is going on in there? No. Think about it. I ask all the parents, not minority children, ask what they would say, what they would do. I know you're frustrated because there's so many elected officials who refuse to pass a law that will do something.
One of the biggest challenges of being a content creator is carving out the time to not.
Kamala and I stood next to the family of George Floyd and the civil rights leaders and law enforcement officials to sign the executive order I came up with requiring the key elements of the George Floyd bill be applied to federal law enforcement. Banning chokeholds, restricting no-knock warrants, establishing a database for police misconduct, advancing effective and accountable community policing that builds public trust. And we'll keep fighting to pass the reforms nationwide. Equal justice is a covenant we have with each other. It must not just be an ideal, it has to be a reality. You're leading the way on this and so much more. That's why Kamala and I are so committed to investing in you and HBCUs. HBCUs help produce 40% of black engineers, 50% of black lawyers, 70% of black doctors and dentists, 80% of black judges. Look, we see HBCU excellence in every day with staff at every level at the White House and administration. Because I decided when I was elected, I promised I was going to have my administration look like America. But we all know that HBCUs don't have the same endowments and funding as other major colleges and universities.
You helped pull them. You helped pull the funding, Biden. Are you serious? Holy crap, this is insanity, man. This is my second video I've ever made. This is really how I watch the videos when I'm by myself. I am by myself, but I'm not recording myself. As weird as that is, I'm still getting used to that. This is nuts.
For example, denying the opportunity to build and fund research labs that will lead to new technologies and good-paying jobs. That's why I asked them, we've invested $6 billion in counting in HBCUs, including to create new research and development labs that prepare students for jobs in the future in high-income fields from cybersecurity, engineering, biochemistry, healthcare. Standing here, I think the last time I came to Howard with President Frederick and others was in my final year as Vice President to host the Cancer Moonshot on campus. Because you're leading the way. You're the scientists, the doctors, the advocates who will bring and do big things like ending cancer as we know it, and even curing some cancers, which we're on our way of doing. You're the diplomats and global citizens making democracy work for people around the world. Lawyers defending our rights, artists shaping our culture. Fearless journalists. This is real, though. This is what you're doing. Fearless journalists and intellectuals pursuing the truth and challenging convention. You're the leaders of tomorrow, but it's coming on you really quickly. Because of you, I see a future we can finally move away from the narrow and cramped view that the promise of America is a zero-sum game. If you succeed, I fail. If you get ahead, I fall behind. And maybe worst of all, if I can't hold you down, I can't lift myself up. Instead of what it should be. If you do well, we all do well. That's what I see. That's what I see in America. And more Americans are. A future of possibilities for all Americans. Look, no matter that future, what it holds, my sincere hope is that each of you find the sweet spot between happiness, success, and ambition. A good life, a life of purpose. Because here's the thing, you don't know where or what fate will bring you or when. You just have to keep going. You have to just keep the faith. You have to just get up. And you can find the balance between ambition and happiness and success. That good life, of purpose, of family. And as you know here at Howard, of excellence, leadership, and truth and service. There's no quit in you. There's no quit in America. So let me close with this. In our lives, in the life of the nation, we know that fear can shadow hope. But it's also true that hope can defeat fear. In January 2021, I stood in the U.S. Capitol to be inaugurated as President of the United States. Just days before, on that very spot, a violent insurrection took place, a dagger at the throat of democracy. For the first time in our history, an attempt to stop the peaceful transfer of power in this country. And they failed. Our democracy held. Again, hope prevailed. And this time, I was standing with a black woman about to take a 2-mile procession down Pennsylvania Avenue as President and Vice President of the United States of America. And who was marching alongside her? the Howard University Marching Band in lockstep and solidarity. You were. I give you my word as a blight. Class of 2023, you're the reason I'm so optimistic about the future. And I give you my word, I really mean it. You're part of the most gifted, tolerant, talented, best educated generation in American history. That's a fact. And it's your generation, more than anyone else's, will answer the questions for America. Who are we? What do we stand for? What do you believe? What do we believe? What do we want to be? I'm not saying you have to share this burden all on your own. The task at hand ahead is the work of all of us. But what I am saying is, you represent the best of us. And that's the God's truth. You represent the best of us. Your generation will not be ignored, will not be shunned, will not be silenced. So on the hilltop high, keep standing for truth and right, and send your rays of light. Congratulations to you all. We need you. God bless you, and may God protect our troops.
Trying to start an Amazon business, you're doing it